Hello, I'm here to talk to you about taking GCSE Geography as an option. So GCSE Geography at Chertsey High School will give students the opportunity to learn more about the world that they live in. We currently live in a world that has got lots of physical things happening, lots of human geography happening, but also a lot of challenges. And these challenges are vital as we move forward with things and understanding how we can tackle them. So if you choose GCSE Geography, the great thing is it will deepen your understanding into these geographical processes that you've already studied during Key Stage 3. It will also help you make more sense over those complex human physical interactions. So for example, why is climate change happening? What about global warming? Should we be protecting the environment, and how can we do that? Whereas if we've got a population that is growing and potentially going to be 9 billion by 2045, how are we making sure that actually we're not going to be using too much energy and we're being sustainable? So you'll get to develop your knowledge and content of that, but you will also have an opportunity to investigate and take on the geographical skills that you've learned from Key Stage 4. So the big thing with geography, and the thing that I absolutely love, is it enables young people to become globally and environmentally informed and thoughtful, inquiring citizens, which we all are, and we all should be looking after our planet. So what is the subject about? I would hope by now you fully understand what geography is about, but it's about the study of the landscapes, people, places and the environment. So when it comes to GCSE Geography, you'll get to look at the physical geography of coasts, glaciers, rivers, anything, volcanoes, earthquakes, tsunamis, anything that is physically and naturally happening within our Earth. And then it's also about the social sciences, so the human geography, so looking at why population happens, why there's development, and analysing the differences between them. So you get the best of both worlds. You get a science, but you also get more about the analytical part about the population, which is really interesting. Okay, so a lot of questions come up from this, that what will you study when you do the course? And the real great thing about this particular GCSE spec that we do is it's got a whole variety of topics. So within your component 1, which is your first paper, you'll sit hazardous Earth, development dynamics and challenging of an urbanising world. So with that, you'll explore how natural hazards affect both the environment and people in different areas in the planet. We'll also be looking at key case studies as well, so bringing in knowledge from around the world as well as to where natural disasters are happening. With development dynamics, we'll look at the reasons for global inequality, why countries are developing in a different way, and we'll also look at the theories and what we can do about it. So can we actually solve global inequality? And then the challenges of the urbanising world, we're going to be looking at what is happening in places where urban development is happening very quickly. So we focus on India there, and we look at what are the problems with these challenges of urbanising worlds developing so quickly. So that is your component 1. Component 2 is really important because since we live in the UK, it's really important we have an understanding of the UK. So we look at the physical and human landscape of the UK. So we apply everything that we have looked at in terms of geography with physical and human geography, and we apply it to the UK landscape. And what's great about that second component is you will then get the opportunity to go out and do fieldwork based on your human and your physical processes. And we will be able to teach you those skills to be able to go out and do fieldwork. And fieldwork and investigation is one of the most fun parts about geography. So I do look forward to it. Every year we do it. The final module is something that is completely different. It's basically based on topical areas of geography. So it focuses on people and the biosphere, all the forests that are under threat, and also consuming energy resources. And this paper is a decision-making paper. So what that means is you as students will learn all about the different problems, and then in your paper you will be saying why you agree with it and why you disagree with it. So it's a really good opportunity to develop those skills both in written as well as critical thinking and problem solving, but it's also applying something that's very topical in our world at the moment. The exam breakdown. The exam breakdown, like I just said, is broken up down into 3 components. We do fieldwork, but there is no coursework. So in terms of that component, the component 2 is where the fieldwork will come. You will sit a paper where you'll be required to write up about what you've learnt in your fieldwork, but you will not be doing controlled assessment in terms of coursework outside of lessons. So I think it's a really good way of doing it because you learn a lot more skills, and I think you'll find it a better way of learning. So component 1 is 37.5% of the GCSE, which is the natural hazards, development dynamics and challenges of an urbanising world. Component 2 is 37.5% again, but it's the human and physical processes applying to the UK, and that also has your fieldwork. And then that decision-making paper, which is component 3, is worth 25%, and it is on the people in the biosphere, forests under threat and consuming energy resources. I often get asked why students should choose the subject geography. Now, I strongly believe, obviously, everything is to do with geography, so it's a really fundamental subject, but I do understand that there's lots of other great subjects out there as well. So in terms of focusing on why you should choose geography is with a job market that has become increasingly competitive, the great thing about geography is it's got transferable skills, and these skills can be applied to other jobs. So if you're looking at doing sciences, you've got the skills, the geographical skills, the mathematical skills that come from geography, but you're also looking at economics there, so you've got the business. You're also then being quite cultured by studying geography, so it can complement those languages or those other humanities. You do develop a wide variety of skills. What I just said about the different papers, you'll find that the way in which you are answering questions is actually developing your report writing, your problem solving, your critical analysis, your decision making. All of these skills are something that's very employable and something that you want to have when you leave Chertsey High School. So not only is there transferable skills, the other thing I would say is it's a facilitating subject. So it really complements those subjects of biology, chemistry, maths, English, RE and history. So it's a really good subject if you don't necessarily know what you want to do, but it groups those other subjects and keeps your options open. And finally, there's lots of travel opportunities. You will experience fieldwork, so you will have to go on a compulsory fieldwork trip to 2 contrasting environments, but it also geography offers you the opportunity to know more about the world, be able to travel, see some of these things, and I think that's really important that the subject enables you to have more of an understanding and want to go travelling, because why wouldn't you? Why the subject is relevant. So I think I've said this, but geography helps you make sense of the world, and the thing about the GCSE courses is it's a whole mix of urban issues, world development, extreme environments, rivers, hazards. So the course will give you a chance to get to grips with the big questions which affect our world, and you'll understand the social, economic and environmental impacts which shape and change our world. And as people who live in the world, we need to be able to understand this to be able to get the most out of the world and also protect it, because we only have one planet. So, the careers that geography can lead to, obviously you could become a geography teacher. Another one that a lot of people think is that you're going to be somebody who does the weather on the TV, or perhaps you'll be someone who is a volcanologist who goes out looking at volcanoes. They all are careers that could lead from geography, but there's so many more options that are there. And like I said, geography is so diverse that it really can lead to lots of different things. And when thinking about this, I wrote down a few, but you could be an expedition organiser, you could be a conservation manager, you could be an archaeologist, a civil servant, a meteorologist, a sustainable or a population analyst, so somebody who looks at some of the patterns that you learn in geography and look at why they're happening and look at ways of helping. You can work in charities and big government organisations to try and help the world get better. You've got geologists, town planners, environmental manager, chartered surveyor, a teacher, a travel writer. So all these opportunities, but also, like I said, geography can hugely complement another subject as well. So it doesn't necessarily have to be one of those careers. So before you choose Geography GCSE, what I really want you to think about is, are you passionate about location, places, processes, environment and different scales? Are you somebody that often wants to know why these things are happening? If you go somewhere, do you often think, I wonder why that's like that, or why are those people doing that? If you do, that's because you're being very curious about the subject. Do you want to learn about a subject that has an engaging real-world focus? So are you going to enjoy the fact that you can bring in opportunities from outside, whether that's actually travel or it's from the internet or from the TV, or experiences? Are you going to enjoy the fact that you can bring engaging real-world points into the lesson? Do you want to complete engaging and manageable fieldwork and be able to communicate your findings? So do you want the opportunity to go out on a trip and find these things out for yourself? And if so, geography is for you. My final thing as well is, do you have an interest in global geographical issues and UK geographical issues? So do you understand the scale between them, and do you want to know the differences? And I think that comes down to understanding about people and environmental issues and the fact that they are all key issues that we have to deal with on our planet. So if you are interested in all of those points, please do choose Geography GCSE. So what do our current Year 10s say? Okay, they all have really enjoyed what they've done so far, and it is a step up from Key Stage 3, but I would say it gives you the opportunity to deepen your understanding and learn about the detail. So I've just got a few quotations here that they wrote. Geography is a great subject as you look at physical processes like science, but you also analyse the human processes such as population and culture, which is really interesting. Geography is all around us and explains the world and how it works. Learning geography is really interesting as we learn about how to prevent climate change and natural disasters, but we also look at the differences around the world for quality of life. You will get to do fieldwork and practice what you learn in the classroom. And the final point, it is fun and you learn a lot more about case studies, which makes it more interesting. So case studies are those examples around the world. So the current Year 10s really enjoy it, and I hope this has helped you make up your mind that maybe you would like to do Geography GCSE.